In tonight's headlines, one worker suffers severe burns after a massive number 3 alarm fire at a recycling site in Yuen Long. Lukfook Jewellery is the latest victim of a cyber attack, with hackers offering personal details of individual members for nearly $200,000. And the Hang Seng Index continued its upward trend, hitting a 9-month high, with bourse operator Hong Kong Exchanges and Clearing leading the rally.
A 61-year-old worker suffered second-degree burns after a fire broke out at a recycling facility in Yuen Long shortly after midnight. The victim was injured when he tried to extinguish the fire and was conscious when sent to Tuen Mun Hospital for treatment. 3 of his colleagues escaped unharmed from the building before emergency personnel arrived. The blaze near Wing Ning Chin village on Yuen Long Road was upgraded to a number 3 alarm after 20 minutes. More than 160 firefighters and paramedics were deployed by the Fire Services Department. With a lot of plastic hoses on fire, 38 fire engines and 5 ambulances responded to the emergency after a lot of smoke engulfed the tin-sheeted warehouse. 3 water jets and 3 breathing apparatus teams were also deployed to handle the blaze, which was extinguished after almost 3 hours.
火場離開水源呢有一定嘅距離。
Spanning over an area of about 20 meters by 40 meters, the very high temperature made it more difficult to bring the flames under control. The task became more complicated as the nearest water source was 700 meters away, prompting the fire department to lay long hoses to tackle the blaze. Firefighters were still at the scene this morning, making sure the area had cooled down. Police don't suspect any criminal involvement, and the cause of the fire is being investigated. Anna Chan, Cable News. Following recent incidents of breaches of personal data, Lukfook Jewellery was the latest victim, falling prey to hackers. Personal details of nearly 5 million members of the jewellery chain store was available for sale on some platforms in exchange for 25,000 tokens of cryptocurrency Tether, which is roughly equivalent to 195,000 Hong Kong dollars. Names, date of birth, addresses, ID card numbers, email addresses, account passwords, mobile numbers, and WeChat information of both mainland and local customers are most likely compromised. Lukfook Jewellery has not yet confirmed the data breach, but it has launched a probe into the incident and filed reports to the police and the Privacy Commissioner's office. The privacy watchdog also confirmed that the servers of private vocational institute, the Hong Kong College of Technology, were hacked. The information technology network and file server of the college were attacked in February, leaking personal details of over 8,000 students. A ransomware copied 450 gigabytes of data, which was made public 3 days ago. The data included names, Hong Kong ID numbers, emails, phone numbers, and addresses. According to the Privacy Commissioner's office, the college initially said personal information of 3,000 students were affected, but updated the number to 8,100 today. As a precautionary measure, Hong Kong College of Technology said it has shut down the affected system and sought help from cybersecurity experts. They will provide credit monitoring and dark web monitoring services to those affected for half-year at no cost. After May Day, the rock band from Taiwan concluded their 6th outdoor concert at the Central Waterfront Promenade last night. A 21-year-old worker sustained injuries when he fell from a height while dismantling the stage. It is believed that the man slipped and hit the ground from a height of about 2 meters, losing consciousness. Police were alerted at around 5:30 a.m. and the unconscious worker was taken to Queen Mary Hospital. The fall was classified as an industrial accident. In a somewhat similar incident this morning, a Leisure and Cultural Services Department worker was struck on the head by a 6-inch nail propelled by strong winds at the Wong Chuk Hang Road Aberdeen Sports Ground at around 9:30 a.m. The accident happened when the 67-year-old woman was believed to be using a tool similar to a camping nail to secure ropes on the grass pitch. She was unconscious when taken to Queen Mary Hospital. The Labour Department is investigating the incident.
President Xi Jinping wrapped up his three-nation European tour after meeting with Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán in Budapest. Further strengthening bilateral ties with the Eastern European country, Xi said China firmly supports Hungary in following a development path suited to its national realities. Celebrating 75 years of diplomatic relations, Xi said the current bond between the two nations is the strongest in history. He called for China and Hungary to continue to be good friends with mutual trust and good partners for win-win cooperation. Orbán expressed his desire for closer ties with China and to strengthen cooperation through the Belt and Road Initiative. The meeting saw the two leaders upgrading their bilateral relationship to an all-weather comprehensive strategic partnership, signing 18 agreements for cooperation covering a range of issues, including trade, supply chain, investment, and green development. In a joint press conference, Xi acknowledged Europe's significance in a multipolar world as well as a key partner for China. He expressed Beijing's support for Hungary's crucial role within the European Union and the advancement of China-EU relations. Xi's views were echoed by Orbán, who pledged his support for China's global initiatives and reaffirmed Hungary's commitment to the One China principle, expressing his hopes for Beijing and Budapest to become steadfast partners. In his meeting with Hungarian President Hamas, Xi recalled his previous visit to the country 15 years ago as vice president. He expressed his delight at being greeted by the same girl at the airport, who was then 6 years old, adding that this encounter symbolizes a deepening friendship between two nations. Cheryl Yuen, Cable News. Hopes for a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas are dwindling, plunging the region into more uncertainty as Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed the country is determined to fight on, even if they have to stand alone. He declared that Israel is determined in defeating its enemy and would fight with their fingernails if necessary. His remarks came in the wake of U.S. President Joe Biden's warning that the United States would stop supplying weapons to Israel if they launch a full-scale assault on Rafah. The southern Gaza city is the last Hamas stronghold where 1.3 million Palestinians have sought refuge. Earlier this week, the U.S. put on hold a shipment of bombs to Israel over concerns of civilian casualties in Rafah. However, Daniel Hagari, spokesman for the Israeli Defense Forces, brushed off Biden's comments, saying their army has more than enough munitions to carry out missions in Rafah. Israel has already seized the Rafah crossing, which borders with Egypt, and serves as a pipeline for humanitarian aid flowing into the Gaza Strip. Republican senators in the United States, however, criticized Biden for his decision to stop sending weapons to Israel.
Israel has to defeat Hamas in Rafah to win. Hamas wins if it survives in Rafah. And Joe Biden has threatened to withhold weapons from Israel for fighting in Rafah. Therefore, Joe Biden objectively favors a Hamas victory over Israel.
They added that withholding weapons would make it difficult to get hostages back. Cheryl Yuen, Cable News.
Hong Kong stocks ended the week on a 9-month high on potential scrapping of dividend taxes and easing of limits on home purchases on the mainland. The Hang Seng Index was up 2.5% before dropping marginally to close 2.3% higher, shooting up 425 points. Shares rallied following a late report yesterday that mainland authorities are considering a proposal to exempt individual investors from paying a 20% dividend tax on Hong Kong shares bought via Stock Connect. If implemented, it would have a significantly positive impact on trading volumes in the SAR. The dividend waiver plan saw shares of bourse operator Hong Kong Exchanges and Clearing jump 7.6%. China Construction Bank gained 6.8%, while mainland insurance company Ping An Insurance Group was up 5.8%. Property shares also advanced after the cities of Hangzhou and Xi'an scraped curbs on residential property purchases, fueling optimism that other mainland cities will follow suit. Shima Group holdings surged 60% at closing.